Well, hello everyone. Happy Thursday and welcome to Elegant Sentiments today. I'm Cheryl Abernathy and I'm the owner of Elegant Sentiments, and this is our weekly card share number 60. So thank you so much for watching. If you're watching the replay, thank you. I appreciate that. And if you're coming on live, I appreciate that as well. So as you can see, I've got some beautiful Lisa Horton Crafts products today, and we will go ahead and get started with what we have on the agenda. So my sentiment, this is still one of my favorite sentiment sets that Lisa has. This is called Best, and it's a mini sentiment, and it's got the stamps. And then you can configure that greeting however you would like. So that's the sentiment I'm going to be using. And then I pulled out her Spellbinders cutting dies. Excuse me. So I'll use that flower. And then we got a couple of new products. This is one of her fundamentals die sets. They're all nested and they're different shapes. And I think there's 10 of them, if I'm not mistaken. It could be 8, but these are the nested squash ovals that I'll be using. And then I also have one of the new stencil bundles that she has. There were 3 or 4 stencils bundled together, and this is one of those. So those are the products. And then for inks, this card uses these. We've got Coral Beach, Early Sunrise, Pumpkin. This is one of the new metallic inks that she has out. Woodland Moss, and Sunshine. This is also one of the 10 new metallic inks. So we're going to do just a little bit of stenciling, and we will get started with that now. Let me get my Ultimate 2 tool and bring that in. And let's see. This is an A2 size card that we're going to be making. And I guess I should probably show you the card. This is the card that we made. Just simple, easy and simple, but I think it's really cute. And I like that sentiment all the best because you can use that for just about any occasion. So I like that. So that is the project that we're going to be working on. And so I have, since it is an A2 card, I have a panel here that is A2 size, 4¼ by 5½. And I'm going to be stenciling that background using the checked stencil. And then I'm going to use the squashed nested oval to serve as my shape. It's going to provide the shape for me for the background. So this is right about where I want that on my cardstock. So what I'm going to do is just put the piece of cardstock, it doesn't really matter where it goes, onto the Ultimate and get that adhered all around. It's about time for me to wash this. So, and then I've got my squashed oval, and I'm just going to center that oval onto the paper, and I'm going to use a little bit of tape here just to keep this die from moving around, because wait a minute, I'll do this. I think I'm going to use my yellow tape on this one because it's a little more tacky and it's thinner. So I'll just put that down, make sure I still have it where I want it. Yeah, that looks about right. And we'll just tape that down to the stencil to give it a little more stability as we start inking. So we're just taping the die onto the stencil, and then this is going to give us that shaped background that we're looking for. So I'm going to start out with, I'm going to use the Coral Beach, the Early Sunrise, and the pumpkin on this. So I'm going to start with the lightest color and just work my way down. So we'll start with the Coral Beach. Let me get my brushes out here. Okay, here we go. All right, so we'll just start with the Coral Beach, and get myself a little piece of scrap paper here that I can tamp off as I'm going. Well, okay, and so we'll just come in right at the edge of the die and just work our way around. Now, of course, you don't need the die if you don't want a specific shape. If you just want to stencil, put the stencil down and stencil your background in without it having a specific shape, that would look just as nice, I think. But this is the way I like this shape. The squashed oval. It's just a little different than what you typically see. So I like that a lot. And then we'll just keep going, bringing in that pale little orange color. And the only thing you really have to worry about with this is just making sure you stay inside the die if you want to maintain the shape. And if you come outside, that's okay. So we're going to move on to Early Sunrise, which is our next color. And it's a little deeper orange. So I tamp that off because I don't want it a huge gradient difference, and I'm just making sure that I go over the last little part of what I stenciled in the Coral Beach and just adding in my new color. I don't tend to pick up oranges that often, but I think these are pretty. And I think even with the card that I've chosen, if you wanted to go more vibrant with these oranges, it would look very nice, I think, because it's a really pretty color when you get a nice heavy inking of that color down there. But we're keeping it kind of light and pale for this one. And obviously this would work with any stencil that you have or any die if you wanted a shaped background with that stencil. And I think that's gonna pretty much do it for that layer. And then we'll come in with our last layer, which is pumpkin spice. Well, no, it's just pumpkin. I called it pumpkin spice, but it's just pumpkin, no spice in there. I'm thinking about my fall time coffee. Okay, and then we're going over top of the Early Sunrise a little. And you can do this in any color combinations that you like. And just blend in over top of it and then move down. And have our deepest color there at the bottom when we're done, but they're all still pretty pale. I'm tapping off most of the color, as you can see, but still very nice. Still nice color. You can see the color differences, even though they are light. Still shows up pretty good. Trying to make sure I get this bottom part of the circles, of the little checks there. And I think that pretty much does it. It looks like we've got everything covered there. Might want to put a little bit more of the Coral Beach here, right in this part. Looks a little more pale than the other areas. And that about does it. So we'll take these, take this tape off. Actually, if I just pick the stencil up, I'll probably get the tape. There we go. And so there is our stencil background. Move this stuff out of the way. And then we'll go in with, I've done all of the die cutting I did ahead of time. This is actually a die from a different set. I forgot which one it is, but any leaf, any die with leaves will work. This is from, I think, the spring flowers, the one I used last week on my blog, I think. Or no, it was my live with Lisa last week. I used the die set, the spring flowers. But so this is already put together. This is the bloom from the layered anemone. So I just took the larger of the two. There's two different sizes. This is the larger of the two. And did that there. And then this is the center. So I just cut this out of white cardstock. And then I inked the I inked the cardstock first. I'm trying to turn this over. Yeah. So I inked the cardstock first, and then I just die cut these pieces. I used the sunshine and the pumpkin and the woodland moss. And so you can see, I don't know if you can tell it or not. Yeah, you can see it when I hold it a certain way. You can see that there is a little, that you can see that shimmer on that metallic ink. It's so pretty. So all we need to do now is just put our pieces together. And I think, yeah, I'll put these together, and then we'll put our panel onto the front of an A2 card base. And then we'll add a little glue and put our flower center in there. There we go. And I want to glue that to my, then we'll put some glue on the back. You could, if you wanted to, you could add some foam tape behind the flower head. But I just decided for this one just to have it go flat. And I'll just lay it kind of at an angle across our squashed oval. And put that down there. And then we'll go ahead and add this to our card base. And I've just got some tape runner here. And we'll put this onto the front of our card. And we'll take our foam folder and burnish those edges, get those nice and smooth. And then we'll do the same thing on the back. Make sure we've got good adherence of that panel onto the card front. And that takes care of that. And then I'm going to use well, let's see, I think I'm going to put my sentiment on first. And I just used glue for this. And before I do that, I want to make sure all of these edges where I cut this are nice and smooth, and then I'll glue it down. I'll do that for both pieces where this got cut and make sure that those edges are smooth. There we go. Okay, so now we'll add some glue to the back of our sentiment, the first part of our sentiment. Ooh, didn't intend to drop that, but since they're down there, I'll move that over just a wee bit. There we go. And then put some glue on the back of the second part, all the best. And just put that down there. Get it straight. And then the last thing we have to do is add our ribbon. This is a textured ribbon from Stampin' Up. I came as a 2-set, petal pink and white diagonal trim is what this ribbon is called. And I liked it because it had the little lines on it. And even though they were going at diagonal, I still think it just kind of added a little extra touch. And so that's why I chose that one. Okay. Get the glue dot off of there. And I'll just put that dot on the back and stick it on right about there. And that takes care of our project for today. So I hope that you like this project. If you watch it on the replay, please be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I would really appreciate that. You can find me on social media, on Facebook, on Elegant Sentiments Limited, and my blog is elegantsentiments.com. So I thank you so much for stopping by and checking out my project. I hope you like it. Thank you again. Have a fantastic week. Next week, I will have a recording for you because I've got a conflict. So I won't be live next week, but I will have a card for you that it's already recorded and it's set up to play next week. And then the following week of the 27th, I will be back live. So thank you again. Have a fantastic week. And remember to live graciously, craft some kindness along the way, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.